What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we got what I would like to call a huge plot twist in terms of the character that we thought was being revealed on Tuesday. Thank you to Amazon accidentally spilling the beans on this one, but also the same guys who delayed copies for some weird reason for the deluxe version of this game. Now, I did mention this in my video the other day, but since then, if you've got an updated email or you just received that email in general, then hey, let me know in the comments below. But on top of that, check your downloads. That's something else we're going to be talking about in this video, which is really cool. But in general, we've just got a bunch to cover. Alright, so as always, if you're new, welcome to the channel. Go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button below, because it just makes you a better human being, which is a really cool thing. And in general, go ahead and drop a like, because that too is a very cool thing to do. So kicking this video off, check your library, check your downloads, whatever you want to call it. Alright, now if you pre-ordered the game, you can now officially go ahead and pre-download the game, which is super cool. But it actually doesn't stop there, because you do need to download more. So first of all, the size for this is actually 46 gigabytes, okay, which is a huge difference in compared to, you know, the whole 90 gigabytes that were being, you know, rumored and actually shown as well, which is just crazy. But do take into consideration that you still need to download the 18 gigabytes day one patch, alright, but nonetheless, you can go ahead and download the 46 gigabytes now, which is really cool. So you can just kind of get yourself like 50% there, more or less. And we also got new day one patch info that is now solidly in place in terms of what the 18 gigabytes will actually include. And this also goes on to mention the future updates that is coming into this game, because as you know, we've been getting all this information every single day regarding what they basically were able to take back from the beta and so forth. But now this is everything solidly in place, and exactly what the 18 gigabytes is going to include, alongside exactly what's going to be implemented in the near future. So firstly, the day one patch. It says the following: as previously mentioned in our blog earlier this week, the day one patch is required to download in order to play the game. This contains many issues that were raised during the beta, as long as other fixes that needed to be implemented. So what it does is it has improvements to matchmaking, which again they spoke about during the week, but there's additional fixes to characters where basically they could just go out of the environment. And I mean, if you didn't know, it was interestingly one of those people that was able to get out of the map, which has since been patched. But it was like a really cool, one of those little bugs in the game that just allows you to just get rid of a timer and so forth. I kind of came across the glitch and done it, and now unfortunately I can't do that. But nonetheless, we got the additional UI fixes as well, so that should just speed up the game in general, like when it comes down to switching heroes and so forth, which, let's be honest, it was pretty slow, so it'd be good if that could be sped up. And then it says additional performance improvements, but again, to be 18 gigabytes, it's not just your general download, okay? It's going to be very, very impactful on your gameplay experience. So that's just a plus point to the Avengers devs in general. Now, what it says for future updates is the day one patch isn't where it ends though. We are working on implementing features that were requested over the beta and takes additional time to develop, but we'll keep you updated on these post-launch. And I mean, they've only mentioned 3 things, alright, first of all. So one of them we already know, which is actually the ping system in Warzones. Again, it was actually a feature that's in the menu already that you can toggle on and off, so I don't exactly know what's going on with that stuff, but it just says ping systems in Warzone. We already know that's just a must-have. Then we got subtitle sizing options, and lastly, a high contrast mode, which is actually going to be quite interesting when it comes down to just getting gameplay in general, and especially when it comes down to explosions in the game and so forth. I mean, I don't know what their aim is with this one, but it does sound pretty cool, let's be honest, right? A high contrast mode. It's just going to be, I'm just curious to see this stuff. I mean, most importantly though, I have to be honest with you, I am super stoked to see how this game is going to look on the PlayStation 5. Don't ask me why, okay? I'm just really amped up. Like, I genuinely feel we're going to see like a huge difference when it comes down to graphics. But that's another video. And that's another time period as well, because we haven't even got the next gen consoles yet. But what's interesting is moving on to the accidental leak by Amazon. Alright, and it's not the first time Amazon have done this. Amazon are like kings at accidentally making these mistakes, which is just leaking stuff when they're not meant to, or hinting at stuff that has just technically not meant to be hinted at, if that makes sense. Okay, now someone sent me an image over my Discord, which, by the way, if you have not joined, go ahead and join. Okay, the link is below. It's a really cool place to be. But what it shows is a Captain America action figure, alright, which we've seen in general. Okay, we know these little figures do exist all around the internet that you can get your hands on, that are of course linked to the game. But what it shows on the back is actually what's interesting, because what it shows is, okay, something crazy. This is the big plot twist, alright? So like I said, firstly it's tied into the game, as of course it has the whole official Marvel's Avengers logo and so forth, but the character in the back, as you can see, actually shows Captain Marvel. Now, what's even more interesting is we've already had teasers, alright, for Captain Marvel in general and so forth, like multiple times with the screenshots and so many times. Alright, I really can't dig up how many times, but it's been a lot of times for me to say a lot of times. Okay, so what's interesting though is we thought we were getting the female version, but what we see here actually shows the male comic version of course, Captain Marvel. Now this is a big difference, a huge difference, because now we're going way back in time. Okay, I don't know when, but we're talking way before, like the 1990s, around that time. Okay, which is crazy, because you'd have thought they'd go for, you know, the recent Captain Marvel, which is the female version, but no, apparently this is not going to be the case, because this is where the Amazon employee, whoever listed this is where, of course, the accident happened. So, first of all, it's completely different, alright, but it does actually link up to the number of teasers that we have got, but also, we thought She-Hulk, okay, was going to be the character that gets revealed on Tuesday because of the recent CG trailer where it had the person wearing the She-Hulk, you know, t-shirt, and, you know, there were the color codings in the background and so forth, so we actually were on that kind of route to saying it's going to be She-Hulk, but after seeing this, it kind of has me thinking. It really has me thinking. So I want you guys to leave your thoughts on this in the comments below, but for me this is a big plot twist, that it actually isn't going to be the female version of Captain Marvel, because we did see a poster of the female version in Captain Marvel a while back in Kamala Khan's bedroom, which was a screenshot, but then interestingly enough, I guess it could be, are they adding two different types of Captain Marvel, the male and female version? Again, I want you to get in the comments below. It'll be interesting nonetheless, because like I said, it's literally two different types of characters, different types of powers and so forth, and I mean visually it's just crazy. Like, look at the male version of Captain Marvel, right? Like, this is going way back to like I said, the comics, right? And they are literally inspired by these comics as well, so it's going to be interesting to see. Nonetheless, if you had to ask me, I'd actually like to see both the male and female version. I just think it'd work really cool, and again, just to have the multiple different characters. But leave your thoughts on that in the comments below. That being said, that's going to wrap up this video here. If you missed yesterday's video, it was an interesting one, so check that one out if you haven't already. But I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.